We're going to go ahead and sketch a graph of this function using the solutions from our previous examples, meaning previously when we solved this equation where we had this equal to 0. So we're basically replacing the y with 0, or in other words, finding x-intercepts. So previously when we solved that, we got our two solutions of x equals -1 plus square root of 3 over 2, and x equals -1 minus square root of 3 over 2. And that's approximately 0.37 and approximately -1.37. It's just helpful to have those approximations when we're going to make this graph. And so those, because those are real numbers, those are my x-intercepts. So we could actually plot those now as accurately as we can. And so we can plug in some additional numbers to complete our graph. So it might be good to pick, say, a -2, since that's on the left side of that x-intercept, maybe a -1 and a 0, and then maybe just a 1. And so because we already knew those other 2 points, we can maybe cut down on our table a little bit. And so let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. So we plug a -2 in for x. We're going to get an 8 minus 4 minus 1, so that's 3. We plug a -1 in for x. We get a 2 minus 1, that's -1. And when we plug a 0 in for x, we get a 0 plus 0 minus 1, that's -1. And when we plug a 1 in, we get a 2 plus 2 minus 1, so that's 3. So we'll go ahead and add these points onto our graph along with the points we already have. And so basically we're seeing here that we're not, we don't have that low point plotted, that point where it turns, but we can see that that happens between the -1 and the 0. So we're still just sketching our U shape that we know that this graph is going to have, and that completes the graph of that equation.